This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No.
This is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Happy Monday, everybody. Everybody have a good Easter, good Passover. Tori, welcome back.
Thank you so much. Pesach Chag Sameach.
I don't know what that you're doing.
Pesach is the Hebrew way of saying Passover.
Oh.
And so when you say Chag Sameach, you're saying have a wonderful Passover.
All right. It sounds like you just aren't well.
I know. It sounds like I need a throat lozenge.
All right. Well, but it was all good.
All good, and I visited Mom, and she's feeling better, so that's a good thing. She's on the upswing.
Judy.
Yeah, Judy had a little downwards, and she's upwards. How was your Easters?
Great. I kind of just did the same. Went to church, went out to eat. I didn't cook. Usually I cook, so I treated myself. Great Easter, fun with the kids. How about you?
Yeah, well, my husband did a lot of cooking. He made lamb.
Lamb?
And and we did like all the fixings and stuff. It was really nice just to like be at home, and my sister was in town. Jeray came over, so yeah.
And Stephanie, how was Easter in the Swiss Alps?
Yeah, right? That's right. What were you skiing?
It was fabulous, like all the fondue. No, I was here, which was fab, like the first weekend almost in this entire year, I think, which is kind of crazy.
That you were here?
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's lovely.
But no, it was so nice. Ate, drank, everything. Went to a comedy show at the Comedy Works, which was brilliant. Laughed so much, drank way too much, and had to nurse myself on Easter Day, which was eventful.
There you go. But now you are risen.
I have
Just
risen.
like the Lord. Just like the
I
Lord.
have risen again.
Well, happy Easter, happy Passover. I hope everyone's weekend was great. Let's get to it, because it looks like Taylor Swift is going to have some inspiration for some new songs, because there are reports that she and her boyfriend broke up.
Oh, but dang.
I'm just happy
Wait
for new
for it.
album.
So T Swift and actor Joe Alwyn have been dating for 6 years. They have worked on some music together over the pandemic, which actually led to a Grammy for Taylor. But seriously, can we expect some new music? I know you're all into T Swift. Tori, does breakup help you write it out a little bit?
What do you know about Taylor Swift, if you know anything?
Oh.
As soon as she breaks up, those songs, the magic, it flows like honey. Like nectar. You know what I mean? From a flower.
Honey doesn't really flow.
It doesn't flow. It oozes.
Yeah.
It is. She is at best a songwriter when she has been brokenhearted. That's really what we know from her earliest stuff, right? We think this might have happened weeks ago. There were some reports about this, that they just got really tight during COVID, and then they kind of spread apart. He's not used to her being on stage, allegedly. He's used to her being more COVID-y.
You mean on tour?
Yeah, and this whole new thing. So we don't know exactly what happened. Some people are saying they're amicable, but she did add in the song The One, which is one of my favorites, and it's a breakup song. And she did this last week in her concert. She just added it on. And one of the lines is, "It would have been fun if you had been the one." So she's sort of referencing it in the tour. She also kind of got choked up at Champagne Problems, which is a song he and she both wrote together. So it seems like she's what she does best. She tells it on her t-shirt, she wears it on her sleeve, and she sings about it. And we all are like, more.
More heartbreak and anguish. Yay!
But some artists are like good when they're in pain. You know what I mean?
I think, not to be so tortured about it, I do feel like when you are going through something, or you have gone through something, regardless of what it is, it does bring out a sense of, rebirth and creativity. I was far more productive after my divorce because I had a new concept of what life was.
For sure.
So I love when people share that with us, but I feel like most artists do.
Yeah.
She just kind of became this like breakup song queen.
She's the open book queen about it. Yeah.
No, I think because all our relationships are so public, and we all know exactly which song is about which person of Harry Styles. So, yeah, I'm excited. She's already fabulous.
I know.
She's already like at the top of her game. Everyone absolutely adores her, and this is going to be epic, which I feel really mean, enjoying
No, but
someone
I get
else's
what you're
pain.
saying.
Well, Tori seemed pretty happy about it.
Sorry.
It's funny, though, she's so public that if she throws in the tiniest of Easter eggs in a song, everybody's all on it.
Oh, no, but she's the queen of that.
Yes.
She's the queen of the symbols and the hidden meanings, which everyone's unraveling. And she is so intricate and detailed with her music videos and the lyrics. She's fantastic.
I think she'll be all right. I think she'll be all right.
Yes.
All right, so we talked about this before on the show, okay? And let's watch our words here. We are learning more about Meghan Trainor and her husband's side-by-side toilets. Let's take a listen.
The two toilets are very real. They're in my bathroom, and I've never loved more anything else in my house more than I love my two toilets. Nobody's in love like we are. Everyone's like, eh. I'm like, your husband doesn't come and hang out with you while you
It's a good chance to talk.
Something else.
I'm like, babe, I'm going. Let's go talk.
All right. She says her husband will sit there and just hold her hand while she's using the washroom, and they'll talk. They'll talk. Is this good for anybody?
I mean, I like how she equates that to no one's in love like we are.
Yeah.
Nah, none of us
You're exactly right, Megan.
I guess we all have our definitions of love, and I respect it, but I cannot respect this very unsanitary condition that we have going on here. There are some things that need to be just for you.
Yeah.
And using the facilities for me is at probably the very top of that list.
Yeah.
And I can speak to my husband when we are both outside of that room.
When you exit. There's something here, I mean, great. You're that I'm codependent. I'm not this codependent. That's insane to me. However, what worries me here is there's no privacy. There's no sense of like a boundary between these two people.
Maybe they have it in other areas.
Maybe you're right.
Outside
it's just, this seems like
toilet.
It sounds nasty. It sounds unsanitary, and also like not very healthy in terms of just like letting you have some boundaries.
Well,
Get
it's
out.
also the idea of holding hands.
Yeah, it's
and
so
we're
odd.
talking about a number one.
Mm-hmm.
How much water did you drink?
How long?
Like, how long are you in there?
for? Yeah.
I'm very concerned.
Would you ever do this with Jordan? You guys are super
Dude,
close.
I don't even want to hold hands on the street, let alone come in the bathroom. Yeah, never happening. Yeah.
No.
How about you, Steph?
Oh no, this is a hard. Everyone has got their own weird, wonderful, beautiful, quirky things in their relationship, I'm sure, but this is a hard definition of
disgusting.
It's just a no.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, there are some things like we need a bit of like privacy, a bit of mystique. I don't need anyone, girlfriends, anybody seeing me in the restroom. Like, I'm really good. Like, no thank you.
Like, leave it an enigma, you know?
Yeah, I think we're all on the same page on this one. Yes. All right. So last week we showed you the trailer for the new Barbie movie, and now some people are coming for Ken because of his age. So Ryan Gosling, if you didn't know, he's playing the famous doll. He's 42 years old, and some people say that is too old. They say a younger actor should have been cast. What do we think? And do you guys have a guess on how old you think Ken would be, the doll? Not meaning like when he was born or anything. How old do you think that doll is?
I
like
thought
Ken
it was
and Barbie.
like 27. Am I wrong?
Well,
I
I
guess,
think
like,
they've got to be
18.
older. They've got to be older because when
You're talking about in the movie.
Oh, no, in the movie. Oh, I don't know about in the movie, but I think he's definitely not too old. He is so handsome. He looks fantastic. I think him and Margot look like a great match. They fit the characters so well. I think this is outrageous.
I also think he's a name, and you need him as a name. Like, he brings in an enormous part of this audience.
But I'm sorry, Ken has always looked old.
Oh, really?
The doll has always looked old. If
Why
you
do you
think
say
about,
that?
because
I think
if
he
you
looks like a
think
teenager.
about what a 20-something-year-old guy looks like, a lot of that bone structure and stuff doesn't really start to come in until a little bit.
It's true.
I'm
No,
serious.
that is true. That is
It
true.
doesn't start. You don't start to get that chiseled
They have more of a baby face, is
jawline
that right?
thing.
Yeah.
Like Ken has always been a very grown man. Like I always would. He has to be like. Late 30s, early 40s.
Erica bringing forensic science into it.
I
Think
agree.
about what we think about 20-somethings, or even like growing up, we had 30-year-olds playing high school students.
Yeah.
So like, if you think about what a 20-year-old man actually looks like, it's not Ken.
I always thought Ken was useless. What are you doing there? I'm with Barbie. I mean, I just didn't. What does he do?
Wow.
Barbie needs a companion.
I know, but Barbie had the doctor's office, the Malibu vacation, the Malibu. She's fine.
What's
we
wrong
all
with
knew that Ken was a sugar baby.
That's
What's
right.
wrong with letting your woman shine?
You're right.
Isn't that what we're supposed to do?
You're absolutely right. I'm sorry.
Wow,
I'm sorry.
shamed him.
I'm sorry.
No.
Ken just seemed really boring to me, and I thought Barbie had a lot of ambition.
Well, it's all about Barbie, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not like the Ken doll came first. He was very second. They may have been Adam and Eve, but here is Barbie and Ken.
Well, he's very emasculated.
Yeah, he was down there. Yeah.
You know, it's.
He's a bit of eye
it's a thing.
candy.
All right, whatever. Coming up on DBL, our interview with Holly Robinson Pete and Rodney Pete. They tell us what it was like hosting a dating show together. And our Martha Stewart and Pete Davidson's now besties. We're going to talk about it.
Somebody roll the clip.
Let's make sure we have Jeff's sex tape.
Wow, things are getting spicy here at DBL.
Cold-hearted snake, look into his eyes.
Let's roll that again, everybody.
I hope so. Just so you know, Picasso, for instance, the Blue Period, very depressive. Some say his best work. So yes, when people go through pain, it can come into creativity in ways like we were talking about as well.
I think it's.
Sorry, go on.
No, I just think it's hard when there's like a level when you're comfortable or when things are going well, then I think that also can breed like some sense of mailing it in.
Yeah.
You're not as hungry.
Right. Just kind of like the status quo.
When you have like less to prove.
Yeah. Let's talk about Ken. Did anyone here play with Barbies a lot? I was not a doll person.
I used to chop their heads off.
I would chop their
you
heads off
did?
too.
I liked hairdressing on them, but I didn't play with them.
Okay. Did you play with dolls? Did you have dolls?
I did,
And you
yes.
like house and stuff?
Yeah.
I never knew what to do with the dolls. I was always just like bored.
Did you make him act out like little scenes?
No, I didn't. Mm-mm.
Oh, you didn't have scenes?
No, I did make believe where I was in the make believe. So like if I was like, let's play waitress, I was like a tired, overworked single mom. Like I took it like really far.
You were like literally in that zone?
And I was alone. My mom walked in, I was 16 and I was serving paperweights to like as if it was a thing. And my mom's like, you don't have to keep doing this. And I'm like, oh, my feet are just, I've been on my feet all day. Committing to this weird. I like to really commit to make believe.
That's intense.
Yeah, but that's why I want to be an actress, I think.
Welcome back to DBL. We talked a little bit about our Easter weekend at the top of the show, but now we're going to take a look at what celebrities were doing over the Easter holiday. First up, Martha Stewart. She spent time with Pete Davidson and his girlfriend when they stopped by Martha's farm in upstate New York.
These two are very close.
So cute.
Yeah, at award show, they're always hanging out.
Nice. All right, so Chris Pratt and his wife, Katherine Schwarzenegger, spent the holiday oceanside with their family.
Nice.
Yeah, beautiful.
That picture is very unfortunate. Sorry, I should have opened my mouth.
I love it. All right, let's get through a couple more of these. Country star Brad Paisley gave his wife Kimberly Williams an Easter manicure.
Cute.
What do you mean not his best work in the prompter? That's not bad. Oh, that's bad. Okay. All right, so Madonna celebrated with her kids, which included lots of bunny ears.
She's looking all right there.
Well, she's got on giant sunglasses.
Her swollen face has come down.
It's less swollen,
It
isn't
has.
it?
It has.
All right. And John Legend and Chrissy Teigen spent the holiday in Italy. Wow.
That's beautiful.
I think they win.
Yeah, they
Oh,
win.
yeah,
They win.
absolutely.
He's got a good sweater jam.
So let's go back to, he does have a good sweater jam. It's very like you're getting in a gondola
For
sweater.
sure, nautical,
Yeah, it's a
very.
look. So let's go back a little bit. What were you saying about the first one?
For some reason, Pete Davidson, and I'm not suggesting they're dating in any way, he's very happy with Chase Sui Wonders, I believe is her name. But he and Martha Stewart have always had this little flirtatious thing at award shows. There's a couple, you see them holding hands, taking pictures together, and they've had this little friendship. And he drove up to her farm and she showed him around, and they have a nice little friendship.
I'm not looking at Pete Davidson in that photo. I'm looking at Martha Stewart
she
and
look,
thinking how fantastic
her
she looks
skin.
at 81.
Her skin
I mean, the
is
amount of
phenomenal.
surgery that's gone into that is
Do you think
quite
there was a little
remarkable.
like
It's amazing.
Photoshop going on
No,
there?
she-
No, she's had some work done.
right.
She
Yeah,
looks
and
fantastic.
yeah.
She looks wonderful. She's glowing. She's healthy. She's hanging out with people half her age and probably outdoing them in every capacity.
What were you saying about Chris Pratt? You saying you're not here for this photo? Which one?
No. It's just, no, let's not.
Why?
No.
There was an unfortunate photo that was unflattering.
Let's go back.
No.
This one?
No.
She looks like her mom there, doesn't she?
No.
That's Maria Shriver that we saw.
All right, what are we talking about?
I'm not even going to say anything. You know what? It's like a little hide and seek. Audience at home, see if you can see what I'm talking about without me telling you anything.
All right, well, let it go. Some celebs spent their Easter weekend in the nude. All right, you should have told me this was coming up. I would have moved on sooner. Heidi Klum shared a topless photo of herself while wearing bunny ears.
So cute.
She's hot.
She's so hot.
Ew.
That's not cute, that's hot.
Ew, yeah, right, Jeff.
Gross. And then there's Halle Berry, who drank wine in the buff.
Also very hot.
She's so cool.
More than 700,000 people have liked the Instagram photo, but check out this comment that one fan wrote, okay? Imagine being in your 50s still posting nudes for attention in menopause. Oh, when you should be chilling with the grandkids aging with dignity is no longer a thing.
He's awful.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to mind your own business. If you don't like it, unfollow. But the level of, like, first of all, ageism, the level of misogynoir, policing of women's bodies, like, really.
Honestly.
Why do we
kick rocks?
Why do we do? Listen, everybody likes that, right? And there's probably 100,000 comments or more.
Yeah.
But we take one, even as a producer, in our own minds, if it's on our own photo. Why do we focus on that comment? Because why do we do that?
It actually is something to do with our evolving. Like, we tend to focus on the negative to save us from terrible accidents in the past. So our brain goes to those negative comments more.
All right, good talk. We'll be right back.
On March 7th, Virginia Senator Mark Warner introduced the Restrict Act amid concerns that TikTok could be used by China to spy on Americans. Several viral posts, each with millions of views, claim that if the bill is passed as written, it would also give the government access to home devices like Ring cameras and smart speakers.
Everything in my house, they have access to with this law.
So, let's verify. Does the Restrict Act give the federal government access to data from your home devices? Our sources are the Restrict Act, Senator Warner, the Electronic Frontier Foundation, and the American Civil Liberties Union. Many of the posts highlight a list in the bill that includes wireless networks, various access points, and cloud storage, and claim that these are places where the US government would be allowed to spy on Americans. But that's not what the bill actually says. Section 5 directs the Secretary of Commerce to prioritize evaluating products or services that use the infrastructure on that list and ensure it's not being used inappropriately by foreign countries, like China. If the Commerce Department determines that's happening, then it must publicly notify Congress. Warner says lawmakers could then decide to ban the company or impose privacy or corporate transparency requirements, adding, quote, "This bill doesn't give the government any power to track what you're searching. In fact, it is aimed at countering foreign surveillance from authoritarian nations," unquote. Even groups that oppose the bill for other reasons, like the ACLU and EFF, agree the Restrict Act would not give the government access to your private data. The ACLU told Verify that most personal information is already protected from the government by the Fourth Amendment. So, no, the Restrict Act does not give the federal government access to data from your home devices. Congress hasn't taken any action toward passing the bill since it was introduced in March. With your Verify, I'm...
Welcome back to DBL. Rodney and Holly Robinson Peete tied the knot 28 years ago, and now they're helping reality TV queens find love that will stand the test of time. We caught up with them earlier. Take a look. Please welcome Rodney and Holly Robinson Peete. Could I just,
guys, how are you?
We're wonderful. Thanks, guys. Could I just say 28 years together? You guys look like you're 28 years old.
You really do.
Am I wrong? Yeah. Looking great.
I always look good when I'm next to her.
That's why you've been married 28 years. That's the right age.
That's the secret. We're done. Mic drop.
I love it. You guys are just a beautiful couple. And so let's get right into it, guys. Holly, as the co-host of Queen's Court, one of the co-hosts of Queen's Court, you're helping both Tamar, Evelyn, and Nivea find true love. What helped you guys survive all the challenges that come with marrying and dating a fellow celeb?
Wow, that's a long answer, but a long question, short answer, but the bottom line is it's just really a matter of being on the same page, right? Rodney and I knew that our love was worth fighting for. We have certainly gone through some things. 30 years ago, we're still together. And that was one of the reasons why we really were excited about coming on and co-hosting, because we wanted to share some of our secret sauce, if you will. But we also know, we knew the pitfalls. So we love these ladies so much. We were so invested in them finding kings. And it was just a blast to film.
All right, well, Rodney, you already nailed it. You knocked that out of the park with the first answer. So let's see if you can tell us, talk to the dudes. What's the secret to a long-lasting marriage?
Well, I think Holly mentioned it. You got to stay on the same page. And I think one of the things that we did before we got married was we sat down with a therapist and we went over what we liked, what we didn't like, what the rules were. So we knew going in that there weren't going to be any surprises, whether it be kids, how we're going to raise our kids, how many kids we wanted, what was okay in a relationship and what was not okay. And we got all of that out of the way early and before we got married, and that helped us along the way. And it's an up and down journey, and you got to be able to be there. Everything's great when it's rosy and things are going good. Right. But in those tough times, are you going to run away or are you going to sit down and deal with it? And we chose to sit down and deal with it.
I love it. So Holly,
years later, they're still sitting down.
Beautiful. Holly, Tamar is getting married, and she actually met her fiance on Queen's Court. Were you surprised she actually found love on a reality show? Because who does that? And I'm just being facetious. Facetious? Facetious? What I was going to say is I found love on a reality show, oddly enough, without that facetious.
Listen, there was a time when people laughed at online dating. I know a lot of people who have found mates, and life partners online. So why not a reality show? I think what I love most about Queen's Court is that these are 3 women who have lived their lives in the public. They've shared their journeys, their ups, their downs, their drama. They've worked on themselves and grown. So they were open to it. Our job was to get them to throw away that list. That list, you need to be this, you need to be that, you need to be this. Our job was to get them to go, hey, you know what? Listen, don't judge a book by its cover, be open to love, and you never know what happened. And it just so happens that this experiment worked, and we're just pulling for these couples.
Well, I am all in on Queen's Court. I finished it recently. I went down the Twitter sphere to see how everybody else felt about it. What I love so much about the show is it's the ultimate comeback story for love, because what we think we know about the queens, we really don't know. So it's so exciting. But there was one part in the show, without giving away any spoilers, where one of the queens didn't want her family to meet the people that she was dating before she was committed. So do you think it's important to get input from family about who you're dating?
It just depends. For that one queen, he was cousin Rodney, and I was Holly, and we were her family. I think it just depends. Family's tricky. So I admired and totally respected her choice to not have her family there and have her family weigh in. And that's another thing I loved about Queen's Court. Every one of these queens was different, had a different vibe, different energy, and they found their king by committee. They weren't infighting, they weren't going at each other, and they supported each other on this journey.
You guys.
Well, I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan, and I love seeing you guys on Queen's Court. It's such a reminder of all the things that are possible. You sitting in front of the 3 of them was like so impactful. So thank you for bringing that to the table, because so many people needed to see that.
Absolutely.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Holly and Rodney, thanks so much for joining us today. To our audience, you can watch Queen's Court now streaming on Peacock. Thank you again, guys. We'll be right back.
Come back soon.
We asked Verify viewers to send us questions about storm safety tips they've learned over the years, and took them straight to these sources. First, were you ever told as a kid to count the seconds between the flash and the boom to figure out how far away a lightning strike is? So let's verify. Does each second really mean a storm is a mile away? We'll need to do some math here, but don't worry. The Weather Service says the sound of thunder takes 5 seconds to travel 1 mile. So if you see a lightning strike and it takes 5 seconds to hear thunder, then the lightning is 1 mile away. If it takes 10 seconds, then the strike was 2 miles away. So no, each second between lightning and thunder does not mean the lightning is 1 mile away. It's actually 1 mile for every 5 seconds. And regardless, our experts say if you can hear the thunder, then it's time to head indoors.
It's kind of the storm's warning shot sometimes that, hey, this is what's coming.
All right, let's say the storm looked and sounded really close. Several Verify viewers asked us, will lightning always strike the highest point? So let's verify. Generally, our experts say lightning will strike the tallest point, but it depends on what's nearby. If you're next to a giant building with a sophisticated lightning rod system, then that'll probably get hit. If you're standing next to a single tree in an empty field, then you may be more at risk. This is because lightning is always looking for the least resistant path to the ground, which could mean hitting a shorter object or even the ground itself. Since there's no way to predict this ahead of time, it's best to just head for safety when you see lightning. So, no, lightning does not always strike the highest point, and it's safest to just make sure you're not the tallest object during a storm. Okay, finally, let's say you counted the seconds and realized a storm is on the way, and you're now safely indoors. What now? Amanda asked us if you should avoid taking a bath or shower during a thunderstorm. This question may seem a little far-fetched, but our experts say there are rare cases where lightning can travel through metal piping. This can carry an electrical charge to anyone using water, whether it's in the shower, doing dishes, or even on the toilet.
There are 10 and 20 cases every year. I did look this up. 10 to 20 cases every year that people report being electrocuted while in their bathtub or inside their home. So while it's not likely, it's very possible. It could happen.
Even people with plastic piping should think twice about using water during a storm. The CDC says since water is a conductor of electricity, plastic pipes can also carry a charge. So yes, you should avoid taking a bath or shower during a thunderstorm. We answered even more of your questions about lightning and thunderstorms on our website, verifythis.com, and explained how lightning is even formed in the first place. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back. Did you know any food or drink that can stain a white t-shirt can stain your teeth? Coffee, wine, blueberries, pasta sauce, the list goes on. Thankfully, Smile Actives has a solution with Smile Actives new Pro Whitening Gel. Effective tooth whitening can be achieved right at home with no trays, no strips, no uncomfortable lights, or a trip to the dentist. Simply add the Pro Whitening Gel to any toothpaste and just brush. No extra time or effort needed. In a clinical study, users saw improvement of up to 8 shades after using the gel for just 30 days. Smile Actives is safe and effective and will work on crowns, bonding, and dentures. Order today for a special buy one, get one free offer. Don't wait to get your brighter, whiter smile. Call 800-700-4040 or visit smileactives.com today. Beautiful white teeth.
Yes. I was going to let him
We have 10 seconds, so that's it. I hope you guys had a great Easter weekend. We'll be back tomorrow. Bye.
Hunks of mail.